Okay, Shabbat Shalom. Well, it's kind of late, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I pray everyone's doing well, whoever's watching, and I kind of hope people are gonna be ready to hear a pretty cool message. I think about cults, and I think a different perspective and one where they could learn a lot about themselves, or just if they were a part of a cult, whatever the case might have been. Um, but I think it's gonna be cool though. I think it's gonna come from a cool perspective, um, and I know I can understand the hurt people have felt from cults, right? So I've tasted a few of it. Um, I guess for me, I kind of decided to kind of meditate and study on it a lot more, and I found some pretty cool things that I think can help along the way. Um, and so I'm gonna get right into it, right? So it's hard to really, so it's kind of hard to start uh, this off, but what I will do is I'm gonna go to the dictionary. It's not your Oxford dictionary, but a dictionary from Google. It says definitions from Oxford languages, so I guess maybe still the same thing, right? And so, here is what Google says the definition of a cult is. And the definition of a cult is a system of religious. Can you all see that? I hope y'all can see that. Do I have to make it bigger? I guess that's good too. That's pretty good too, yeah. Yeah, so a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. Another definition, a relatively small group having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. A misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. A person or thing that is popular or fashionable, especially among a particular section of society. And, before I go any further, I can understand that there's going to be disagreements. So, that's all cool and dandy. So just hear me out though, and just maybe see where I'm coming from. And so, the first part here I get to is this thing called a system, right? A system, or right here, which is also the translation of a system as a small group, or pretty much group. I think those are very key words to establish. I had done a video before, right? Here it is. I'll link it. Boom, right there. There's me. Boom, look at that. So I did a video before, and based on the first word there, government, right? The Bible is a book about government. If you really break it down, it's a book about government, not religion. And that's where I think people confuse the two, which I can understand why they could get it confused, because guess what? When dealing with the government, right, we all understand this, is that you're dealing with order. And with order, it could sometimes cross the boundaries or cross the border of control, which is definitely an issue that we face with the government today. Allah, the bug, right? We understand that border of control there, they crossed it. And obviously the same thing with people that deem the what do you call it? That deem certain groups cults, right? they cross the border of control. And so that's where things get very, I guess that's where the fine line where you're kind of, this disputable matters, as we would say. This disputable matters that needs to be taken to the what? Government, the ecclesiastica, the ecclesiastes, if that's what you want to say. And so, the interesting about the word cult is arise from the word culture, or it's a short form for culture, or it's a big part of it. It's a part of the word culture. That it is a part of that word, and the culture of the cult is determined by the leader, determined by the one who's in power, is determined by the one who's in power of that government. And we understand that in the USA, you got the president, right? And based on the president determined the culture of America, pretty much. We know went from Trump and when it went to Biden, and you could see, and here's a funny thing, right? This is gonna connect so much. As America or Canada, whichever country you're part of, Russia with Putin, the leader of those countries determined, kind of, I don't want to say determined how the people behaved, but set the culture, set the tone, set the standard of living, or the standard of your reward or the status you get, right? Another way to look at this, if we all remember the 2019 Toronto Raptors, right? Our first NBA championship with Kawhi Leonard, him being our leader versus DeMar DeRozan being our leader, right? The leader's energy seeps into other people. The leader's energy rubs off on other people, right? They follow by example. They follow your leadership. That's why you lead by example. They follow your example, right? I think, remember, it was Game 3 of the finals, and Sid and Tim used to be on sports. No. I think they're still on the score. Sorry, not sports. The Score. I think that's still their brand. The Score. That's their brand. They were, and they said a very interesting thing after Game 3 win against the Warriors. The Raptors weren't too happy. They weren't over celebrating. They were very calm and very I say calm and collected. Very calm and collected after a win, and they went the game. They went to win Game 4, lose Game 5, win Game 6. But the interesting comment about it was that they realized that the team took on the spirit of Kawhi Leonard, who had that exact same demeanor about him, calm and collected, right? That championship pedigree. You understand what I mean? And so, come back here to government, business, or kingdom. Well, let's go back to that definition, right? When their devotion is directed toward a particular figure, right? Now, this is so fun because the devotion towards a particular figure is supposed to be Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, the shepherd, the one true pastor, the one true shepherd. However, there are under shepherds to help people get to the real shepherd, right? They're there for the body, right? And so, back to what I'm connecting to with the leader, they set the culture, right? And, and if you think about it, if you just apply that principle with Jesus Christ, let him set the culture of your relationships, of your life, everything will flow. Hey, pretty cool, right? Very, right? Something that didn't even realize, if you realize it today. So let him set the culture of your cult. And so, obviously, where it doesn't harm people, you know what I'm saying? So,